Hello, my name is Samar. I also go by Sam or First Time Panner. Any of those you want to call me, you can. This will be a video that was not just inspired, but this is me completely copying Jo, who is Jo's makeup journey on YouTube. Just this morning, I watched her video that she posted, which I'll have linked in the end cards. I think that's what it's called. And then also in the description box, so please check her out and subscribe to her because she's honestly one of my favorite people on here. I'm rambling about Jo, but she's just great. She's the person I talk to the most, out of my YouTube friends. She's the person I talk to most, outside of YouTube comments. She's just a really cool person. I think her content is so relatable. We almost always have the exact same opinions and preferences in makeup. So if you like my content, you probably like hers. But anyway, I just watched her video this morning about if she had a minimalist makeup collection, those were the items that she would keep or have in her collection. And I really wanted to do the same thing because this year I am doing a no-buy, a replacement only no-buy, with maybe one or two exceptions, which I'll talk about during my first empties makeup recap video of the year. But yeah, more or less I'm doing a replacement only no-buy. And yeah, I'm just really excited, and the end goal I think for most panners is to have only the things that they love enough to use up. And I would never be let me just get this straight, I would never be a minimalist really in most areas of my life. I'm just not a minimalist at all. I love material things. That's really bad. I shouldn't say that. I just love to have what I love and be comfortable and have fun experiences. I'm definitely not a minimalist at all in any way. I'll just put it this way. I love to attempt to live life to the fullest. But I would never be a minimalist, but I do want to get my collection to a place where I don't feel overwhelmed. And even though I think this would be an extreme where I would truly only have, at least for me, what would be considered a minimalist collection, I'm trying to be maybe closer to this than to what my collection is now. So if I was overnight going to decide to be a minimalist, this is exactly what my collection would look like. No more rambling, let's get into the video. I kind of put everything into a oh my gosh, this is actually really heavy now, a little bin. So I think I'm just gonna start with, I think I'm gonna go by category, but I'm gonna start with what's on top so I don't have to go digging through everything. So I think I'll start with my base products. And base products, which for me is primer, foundation, concealer, setting spray, setting powder. That is a very simple category for me, and that I don't I do actively seek out what I think would be a perfect match for me, but other than that, I'm never really trying to look for new things to try in this category. So this category is actually very, very easy for me. I actually I feel like I could go smaller. I'll just explain as I'm talking about these products, but let me just start out with the one primer that I would at least start with as a minimalist, and that is my Supergoop Mineral Unseen Sunscreen. Usually what I like to do is have a pore filling primer and put, that's my neighbors if you can hear that, and then on top I would put sort of a glowy and or hydrating primer on top, because pore filling primers tend to be very, very mattifying and dry. But I need a pore filling primer because I have super, super large pores and I'm very oily. But I feel just to start out with something, I would use my Mineral Unseen Sunscreen, because this does have a lot of the pore filling effects that the original Unseen Sunscreen has, which used to be my holy grail primer. It's just not quite as drying as the original. So I think just to start out, I would try only using this if in this fake scenario that will never happen, if I had found that it is still too drying. I would probably add one like hydrating or glowy primer, but I think just to start out with, I would only use this one because this seems like, at least for now, kind of a happy medium that meets all of my needs. And it's just like, I mean, it even has sunscreen in it, which is great because I'm horrible at putting sunscreen on if it's not in my makeup. And I think this would just be like a really easy, quick go-to primer. And like I said, I don't really care to think too much about my base products, so that's even better. I am at heart a powder girly. I love powder foundation. I started with powder foundation. Like, I think the very first time I ever put powder, or excuse me, foundation on, it was powder. And I, until like a few years ago, pretty much only did that. So yeah, of course I had to choose a powder foundation, and this one specifically is the like old school traditional MAC Studio Fix powder foundation. Mine has like a teensy tiny bit of hard pan on it, but this is what mine looks like. It's in the shade, this is NC35, which I think is like an okay shade match for me. And these are also refillable, so not only would it just make things easier for me, as soon as I finish it, I can just replace it with the exact same one, or like whatever season shade I would need. But it's just like a really good powder foundation that I've used many of. Like, I know how to use it, I know it works for me, and it has a decent amount of coverage, so I would feel totally comfortable using this just as my foundation for like at least every day. I do think I would be perfectly fine with just having this, but I think if I were to expand upon this at all, it would be for the rare occasions when I do like really want to have my makeup looking very nice. If I'm going out for a special occasion, or just like I need more full coverage for whatever reason, I would choose one liquid foundation to have, and that would definitely be my NARS, I actually don't even really know the name of this, light reflecting foundation. This one is in the shade Barcelona, which previously was my perfect winter shade, but I think this year I've just gotten so pale that even throughout the day with this oxidizing, which just always happens because I have, again, super oily skin, that just happens no matter what I put on my face. Especially by the end of the day, this looks way too dark for me. I just like am extra pale this year. Maybe I'm malnourished, I don't really know. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. This is the one foundation, liquid foundation, that I would have. I just like, it's just perfect for me, like the perfect foundation. It is like a light to medium coverage depending on if you build it up. It's a really great consistency. It's like it's more on the thin side, without being, sorry if you, I don't know what my fridge is doing, if you can hear that. It's like a little bit heavier and more coverage than a like skin tint, but it's like very just like buildable, and it just hugs your skin in such a perfect way. It doesn't feel heavy on my skin at all, and paired with the setting powder that I put on top of it, there goes Roxy if you can see her, it just looks so beautiful and perfect on my skin, in my opinion. And the powder that I would choose, the setting powder, of course, is the Makeup Forever HD Skin, the label's upside down, Ultra HD Setting Powder. This one's in the shade 3.0 Golden Beige. This is my favorite setting powder that I've ever tried. That I've talked about this a lot, especially in my 26 and 2026 video, so you can check that out if you want to hear more about it. But this is kind of my do everything powder, where I feel like I could honestly wear this on its own too. So even if I didn't have a liquid foundation, I would probably still have this in my collection, because I feel like I can get away with this as my face powder for the day. But it's just a really good setting powder. It is like on the slightly heavier side, so if you're the type of person who like absolutely needs the most fine milled powder in existence for your under eyes, this probably wouldn't be it for you. I, however, do not really care. So I just use this for my under eyes and all over my face, and I absolutely love it because it is so beautiful. It has like a natural matte finish, I would say, and it's so smooth on the skin, and also very blurring. Even though it's not advertised to be blurring, it is, and I just love it. I think it's like my favorite powder I've ever tried from any brand, and I always want to have it in my collection. Then for my setting spray, this one was also very easy for me. It would definitely be the Tarte LifeLock setting spray. I just think this is amazing. It's supposed to be like a hydrating setting spray. It doesn't make me look super glowy or anything. Like, it does have a slightly, I don't want to say it makes me look glowy or shiny or anything like that, but it just like melts all of my powders into my face, like no matter how crusty and gross I'm looking. I don't know, some days I just can't get with a program and I don't know what goes wrong, but this, when I was using it, it's just a mini, and I haven't replaced it yet because I'm trying to get through some others because I want to replace my only no buy. But anyway, I don't know why I had to mention that. This, when I was using it, no matter what I looked like before I sprayed this on, after I sprayed this, like 1 or 2 layers on my face, it just, everything looked perfect and blended together. And at first I was like racking my brain trying to figure out like which combination of like primers and foundations and cheek products I was using that was making my skin look so amazing, but it was just this. Every single time it was because I used this. That was the only consistent thing about my makeup, and I love this so much. I'm definitely gonna buy probably one and a backup just in case this gets discontinued once I'm no longer on my no buy, or if I finish up all of my setting sprays in my collection. But I don't think I would ever go back to anything else, to be honest. For cheek products, this is actually my smallest category, which is crazy to me, and I'm just gonna say it up front. The 2 products that I thought would always for sure be in this category were not, and that is my Essence Pure Nude highlighters. I have both of these, the highlighter and sunlighter. These are my favorite highlighters ever, but with what I chose, I just felt like I didn't really need them, so those actually did not make the cut in my minimalist routine, and that is because the 2 cheek products that I chose are both face palettes which have highlighters in them, so I didn't feel like I needed that many highlighters. But the first one that I knew I was going to pick was my Hourglass palette, which is so crazy because for the longest time I was an Hourglass hater. I just thought these products were so like overly expensive and overhyped, and while that possibly could be true, I don't really know, because I never found a palette prior to this past year that I thought would be worth it for like the shades it had in it. This past year, I decided to splurge on the Swan palette because I liked all the shades that were in it. And oh my gosh, I absolutely fell in love with this palette. It has pretty much everything I need. It has a bronzer, a highlight, and 3 blushes. And I feel like these 3 blushes would cover like 90% of the makeup looks that I would want to do on a day-to-day basis. It has like an orange corally blush. It has a like more pink corally blush. Like, this would probably be the best everyday one. And then it has like a mauve-y blush, like more pink mauve. So I feel like it covers like most of the bases as far as blush, and I am a blush fanatic. I love blush so much. That was Roxy getting back on bed. And this highlight, even though it is like a golden highlight, I do have yellow golden undertones, so I think it would just suit my skin tone no matter what. It also has the like I don't even know what that powder is really called, but like a finishing powder. I don't really care too much about a finishing powder, but so it's kind of like just a bonus that it's in there. This would probably be like my everyday face palette. And then I also chose the Cali Contour palette from Smashbox in the like medium deep version, because this has like the other 2 blushes in it that I felt like might be missing from the Hourglass palette. I think between these 2, the only blush shade that I wouldn't really have would be like a red sunburnt blush, but I don't really need one when I think about it. And this one also kind of, even though it's not a red, it does give me a little bit of a sunburnt look. It's like a nude sunburnt blush. And then this one is just like a true neutral blush. And then it also has like 2 other highlights in it. This one is more, it's like a nude champagne highlight. So that would be perfect for every day. And then this one is an orange, which I love orange, so that's just perfect for me. And then probably most importantly, I dug my nail into it, but it has this bronzer which would fit me in the summer. The bronzer in the Hourglass palette, I think it does fit me now, but I do think it would be a little bit light for the summer months. But this bronzer works for me all year. I decided not to include any cream products because, like I said, I am just a powder girl, even though I do love a cream blush, and I love my Fenty contour, like cream contour stick, but I just like, if I'm really a minimalist, I would honestly only be reaching for powders. For eye makeup and eyebrows, this one was also very easy, especially eyebrows, because I literally just do the exact same thing for my brows every single day, except for now because I'm trying to pan a brow pencil before I go back to my like regular brow routine. So I guess technically that's kind of a lie, but if I could choose, I would have the exact same brow routine, which is starting with my Maybelline Express Brow like tinted brow gel, then going in with a clear brow gel on top of that just to like brush through everything. And then once it dries down, I use a brow pen to fill in like any tiny gaps that I may still have. And I would be happy doing that every single day of my life. I don't really care about doing anything crazy or special with my brows. Just like my base products, it's just like I want to get this done and make it look nice. And then for eyes, as far as like mascara and eyeliner, it would just be a dark brown and a black of everything. Mascara, gel liner, and liquid eyeliner. Specifically for gel liner, it would only be the Pat McGrath like gel pencil like waterline eyeliners. That is just the best one on the market that I've ever tried, and I haven't heard of anything else being any better. Especially, I feel like sometimes it can be easy to find a black gel liner that's really good, but brown ones are so difficult to find because they just like tug at my waterline. They're not good. So yeah, I would only buy the Pat McGrath ones. I don't really care about mascara or liquid liner as long as they work well. I don't have a specific brand I need. I like the Tower 28 mascaras. Maybelline makes a lot of mascaras that I really love. And then as far as like liquid liner, probably one from, I don't know, like Tarte. Most brands make at least a halfway decent liquid liner, I would say. And then I would just have my 2 basic eyeshadow primers. So first, just either the Ulta one that I have now or my basic Milani eyeshadow primer that I've repurchased multiple times. Right now the one I have open is the Ulta one, and it works very well. And then I would have my NYX glitter primer, which, you guys, look at this. If you watched my what was it, I think the last one I posted, like the get ready with me, was my palette throwback. This thing looked full, and sorry if you can hear the car speeding down the road. I always have this standing up, but yesterday I went to use this, and I guess like I finally got the last bit of product out that was covering the air bubble. The air bubble was taking up literally like the entirety of this packaging, because now it's like completely flat. There's only this much product left in the tube, which I guess makes sense because I've had this for over a year now, probably close to like 2 years I've been using the same tube. But I really thought I had almost all the product left in here. I'm just like astounded at how much air was in this tube. I'm definitely going to need to repurchase one of these soon. This probably will end up being my first repurchase of the year. Moving on to eyeshadow, which is probably the category people were waiting to see. It's actually not that much, which I know is crazy considering I have 83 eyeshadow palettes and just a crap ton of like other types of eyeshadow. But I'm actually surprised with myself as well that I was able to like not overthink this category and just go with like what I knew I would be happy with if I was a minimalist, which again, I would never do that. I would never do that to myself, but in an alternate reality version of me, like minimalist Samar would be so happy with just these palettes. And the first one, obviously, say it with me, guys. The Dose of Color, she's a 10. This is just like basically my perfect everyday palette. Dare I say, like I would just be so happy to use this every single day. I don't think I would get bored of it, and the formula is so good that I would just be happy to be using something like this. Again, this is very powdery, so it might not be for everyone, but I always do my eyeshadow first, so I'm able to wipe off any fallout. And this has warm, cool, and neutral mattes in it. And it has like different formulas of special shades, so it has like metallic, shimmers, everything like that. So for an everyday palette, I would be happy to just be reaching into this all the time. I would just do like my go-to looks depending on what I was wearing, if it was warm or cool, or if I just wanted like a very neutral look. It even has a few shades that I could use as a one and done. It also had that like little pop of what I call red velvet red, but for color I think I would want something else, and that would be my Danessa Myricks Lightwork palette from 2024 holiday release. This is the Lightwork Volume 6, the first Freedom palette. And this doesn't have like every single color under the sun, but it just has so many beautiful colors in it, and the formula is amazing. I actually liked this palette even more than the one that came out this past year, even though it doesn't have any mattes in it. It's just so beautiful, and I love every shade in here. So as far as pre-made palettes, those are the two that I would choose, but I also chose two like single Z palettes. The first one had to be this one, which I was gonna say my Terra Moons palette. You would never know that from this outer packaging, but this is what it looks like. It has almost all of my Terra Moons eyeshadows in it. Yeah, I just absolutely love my Terra Moon singles. They're so pretty. I only buy their special shades. Other than one metallic, I don't really buy any of their mattes or their like just single dimension metallic shades. But they're like duochromes and multi-chromes I think are absolutely beautiful and such a good formula, that like if I ever got bored with the shades that were just in my like Dose of Colors palette, I could just go into this Z palette and have my pick of the litter. There's so many beautiful shades for literally any type of look that I could ever think of. I think the only like color that I don't have between these palettes so far is orange. Like I don't think I have any orange mattes. There are a few shades in the Danessa Myricks that shift orange. However, the other Z palette that I want or would want to keep is actually my ColourPop Z palette, and this one definitely has a few different orange mattes in it and some orange shimmers. Pay no attention to this setting powder. I probably wouldn't care to keep that. But I specifically would want to keep my ColourPop singles because I think this would like be great for traveling. I have a few extra that are somewhere else, but I have a bunch of like neutral, warm, and cool shades from my ColourPop singles, and they all of course fit in ColourPop palettes. And I did keep a ColourPop shell so that I could use to like mix and match. Like for example, right now I made this one like just for if I wanted to go traveling and I wanted just a neutral everyday simple palette. I made this from my ColourPop singles, and I could just literally do that with any of my ColourPop singles that are in there. So I think this would be like a great selection to keep, not only for neutrals but also a lot of colors that are not in those other palettes. Like I have a bunch of oranges and greens, which are my two favorite colors to wear for eyeshadow. So I would be keeping all of my ColourPop like small pan singles. The only other eyeshadow that I would want to keep is just a few eyeshadow sticks for if I ever just wanted like for travel or for just flying out the door, or if I wanted to do like super simple yet glamorous makeup and just keep it very light on the eyes. I chose my two Half Magic eyeshadow sticks. I just think these are so beautiful. And like previously, my favorite eyeshadow stick was my e.l.f. Rose Gold shadow stick, because I felt like this has like barely anything to that sounds really bad, but it has like barely anything to it. Also, the sun is setting as I'm speaking, which kind of is annoying. But this has like barely anything to it, in that it doesn't have like super impactful shimmer and it doesn't have much of a base. But whenever I wanted to keep it simple on the eyes but just didn't know what to put, or I was in a rush, I could always use this on my eyes, and it always looked good with literally anything that I wore. However, I am choosing my Half Magic ones over that e.l.f. Rose Gold because I feel like these are just not slightly, these are definitely more impactful. But I can also sheer them out if I do just want like a super like nearly undetectable wash on my eyes. I can sheer these out by a lot. But also if I want something with more impact and more color and more sparkle, I can build these up. And I also have two shades. They're both like neutral nude shades, but one is like this one called Beige Mystique. It's just a true neutral, and it has like almost no color to it, so I could kind of use it in the place of the e.l.f. Rose Gold stick. But then I also have Princess Teddy, which is more of a brown. So if I wanted like more impact and color, or for something that's in the evening, I could definitely use this. But how I like to use them best is together, because it just makes such a beautiful gradient on my eyes and they blend together so well. So I would keep these two. Finally, lips. And this is the part where when I said minimalist to me, you have to remember that, because lips is my favorite category of makeup. It always has been, it probably always will be, and that is even more than eyeshadow, that is the section where I want the most variety, the most options. Even though I just love brown everything when it comes to lips, like one brown lipstick and one brown lip gloss is not enough for me. So keep that in mind. I'm just gonna get into it. First, I couldn't really just choose one lip gloss and lipstick, etc. So I narrowed it down to my top 3 brands of lip gloss. So my first brand of lip gloss that I would want in my collection, of course, is NYX Butter Gloss, and this is both like the regular and the Butter Gloss Bling. So I'm like allowing myself both because it's still butter gloss, but I would want to keep the butter gloss formula in my collection. This one, like, the shade doesn't matter because I would just want almost all of them, really. Like all the brown shades, definitely. I would want the deep cranberry shade. I absolutely love that one. It looks so good with a brown lip liner. So yeah, NYX Butter Gloss is the first brand of lip gloss. Then also my Fenty Gloss Bomb Oil. I love this formula. It is so comfortable on my lips. And even though it's not like super like metallic or super glittery, it just always looks so good on my lips. Like every single shade that I have, there's something about it. This hasn't even been in a project and I've used almost half of it, which with the size of my collection, it should really tell you something. I truly love this formula so much. So the Gloss Bomb Oil formula. And then the final formula that I would want in my collection might be a surprise. It literally dethroned, or not dethroned, but like it knocked my previous 3rd favorite gloss brand, Pat McGrath, down to number 4. My number 3 favorite gloss formula that I would want to keep in my collection is Revlon Glimmer Gloss. These were so good. I recently did a like kind of first impression / review swatch video on these. I really loved these. I think they last long and they're so beautiful. Like, it's a great shade range and it's just so glittery. The glitter lasts like the entire time you're wearing it, which doesn't even happen with like any of the Fenty glosses. The glitter goes away after like, I don't know, 10 minutes. This one, it stays all day. So yeah, I just want, I feel like now I want all the shades. I'm not going to, but I just want all the shades, and I would definitely keep all the shades that I already have. Oh, real quick, I totally forgot. Just skipping back to like complexion or the base category, my Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer. I like don't know how I forgot this because I fell in love with this concealer. It's just such a good one. It's like nearly full coverage on the first wipe. Which is good because I have like dry, heavy under eyes. So I don't want to put, even though I don't really care too much about my under eye wrinkles, it is what it is. I don't want to put too much product because then it does start looking cakey and gross. So yeah, the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer is my new favorite concealer. And I would just have it in like both my summer and winter shade, and then that would be that. But back to lips. I think I would only honestly need like one lip liner in my entire collection, and that would just be any like brown lip liner, like deeper than my lips, because like I said, I love pairing a brown lip liner with, I think it's called, is it called Devil's Food Cake? I honestly don't remember what it's called, but that one Cranberry Tone NYX Butter Gloss looks so good with the dark brown lip liner. This one specifically, like I'll try to show you, this one specifically is the Malt lip liner from ABH, but just like any old brown lip liner, like the ones from Revlon are amazing. The one in like the shade Chocolate, as long as it doesn't slip around my lips, I could probably just go with any old brand. But one like medium deep brown lip liner. Then I only have a handful of lipsticks. So first, just like a super basic, these are also almost all brown, but a super basic, just like everyday, completely neutral brown lipstick would be my LYS lipstick in the shade Hot Chocolate. This one specifically, I'd probably have to find an alternative for because this was a holiday shade. It's only available for like special edition holiday. This came out in the holiday 2023 and 2024 collections for LYS. They had like lipstick and lip oil kits. It didn't come back for 2025, so I'm really hoping that they bring it back for holiday 2026 because this is like literally my favorite lipstick formula. And I love their holiday shades even more than their like regular year-round shades because again, I love a brown and they're all brown. But yeah, this Hot Chocolate shade is literally just like my everyday nude lipstick. I already panned a full one of this. It literally goes with pretty much everything, and the formula is so good. This is my favorite lipstick formula because it's like a natural matte, like a hydrating matte, which I love. It feels so comfortable, but it looks so good and it stays in place. I'm losing my voice, so I need to speed it up. But another favorite is my MAC, it's also discontinued, MAC lipstick in the shade DGAF. This is a, I think it's supposed to be like a satin matte, but it's the like Love Me lipstick formula that is no longer available, unfortunately. This is what it looks like. It's just another brown, but I love the color so much. Like you can't see it very well because the sun is setting on me. Then for more of a pinky nude, MAC Whirl. This is so classic and popular. Everyone knows this, but this is one of my favorite lipsticks. It just always looks good, and it's a very comfortable matte. Like it's a true matte lipstick, but it's always comfortable, and this looks so good under a cool brown lip gloss. I just love it alone and paired with something else. And my last brownie nude lipstick would be one that I don't currently have, but it's the Milani, I can't remember what it's called, like Color Statement, but it's their like just original satin lipstick formula in the shade Teddy Bear. I've gone through like 4 or 5 tubes of that lipstick. It is so good. It's like a brownie pink, pinky brown. I don't exactly know how to describe it, but it's just a really great everyday lipstick that again I can wear with almost anything. It was my favorite lipstick for years, and even though I don't wear as much because again I have so many other options now. I would always want to have it in my collection. Like, not having it makes me nervous that it's going to be discontinued while I'm not looking, but I won't buy it for now. Then, even though I like almost never wear red lipstick, I think there is a time and a place for red lipstick. So I would probably just have one in my collection, and it would definitely be a matte. I don't like glossy bold lips. Like, I like matte bold vampy lips. Probably the one that I would pick out of my collection that I have now is my Bite Beauty lipstick in the shade Tannin. Again, discontinued. I recently just finished my Atomic Makeup liquid lipstick in the shade Tie Me Up. That one was more of a vampy, like, fall red lipstick. This one I feel like is still a good, like, deeper tone for me because I do not like a blue tone lipstick. I kind of want a, like, deeper, slightly warm red lipstick. I think that just suits me most. I don't want a bright, like, blue or pink tone red lipstick. So I think this one would be a really good fit for me. At least it looks like it would be. I haven't worn this on my lips in so long. Long story short, just one matte deeper red lipstick. Then randomly, this liquid lipstick from KVD. This is the shade Queen of Poisons. I actually have two other liquid lipsticks that are almost this exact same color, so I think I just have a type. But I would say my favorite out of all of them is this one. I got it as a free gift with purchase too, but it's just like a mauvey matte liquid lipstick that looks really good on me, if I do say so myself. My last lip product that I also don't have with me, so I probably shouldn't have ended on this one, but it's another mauve because after brown, my favorite lip color to wear definitely is mauve. But it's the Dose of Colors lip oil in the shade Pretty Nice. It is so pretty and just like literally the most comfortable thing ever. Dare I say, even more comfortable than the Fenty Gloss Bomb oils. It just feels like you have a pillow on your lips. It's so comfortable, and the shade is super flattering. On me, it ends up looking slightly pink leaning, but it's just like a straight up semi-sheer mauve lip oil, and it's something that I can wear literally all day and not have any problems with it. It doesn't like get stringy or build up or start like bunching up. And again, it goes with almost anything because it's like a nude, slightly pinky mauve, and it's so comfortable. So that would be the last thing that I would have for lips, and just in my collection in general, if I was going to be a makeup minimalist. I know this video was, at least I've been filming for almost 45 minutes, so I know that's not really makeup minimalism, but for me, this really would be my minimalist approach to my current collection. If for whatever reason I had a change of heart and decided to be a minimalist, this is exactly what my collection would look like, at least in the beginning. In another life, this would be me. So yeah, shout out to Joe again for posting this video because I think this is just such a great idea, and especially it's very timely because I cannot buy any more makeup this year unless I finish everything that I have in my collection of it. But let me know what would be, if maybe not your entire minimalist makeup collection, what would be like your very basics that you would always have. Even if you were a complete minimalist, you would be like, I would still have this in my collection. I know that for sure. I feel like that's kind of the best insight into what someone really loves, is if they would keep it if they were only a minimalist. So with that, I will just see you in my next video, and until then, I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for watching. Bye.